Well, we're back. So we're gonna talk about the birth story with you guys because it was quite an interesting ride.
Yeah.
Where do we start?
I'm not pregnant anymore.
So she's here now, and she's been here for a while. She is
8 weeks.
8 weeks
And a day.
and 1 day. You want to talk about like how well your pregnancy went, and then like we can get into like the juicy stuff.
No, but pregnancy went really well. I mean, I didn't have any complications. I was able to work out all the way until I was 38 weeks, and that was by choice. I was just like, maybe I should chill out.
Right.
I don't know. I could have kept going, but I decided to just chill out. But sorry, I keep looking over there. She's over there.
Yeah.
But but nonetheless, I don't know. I mean, it went well.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't complain about the pregnancy at all. I was blessed. Praise. So,
Same.
yeah,
It
blood
made my
pressure
life
was
easier.
good the entire time. We went past 40 weeks. We were what? Because she was 3 days
Yeah,
past.
she was
so
3
it's
days.
just-
Yeah.
Yeah, 40 weeks and 3 days when I had her. So I was able to carry her full term, which is awesome. And yeah.
The juicy part. Let's get to that. So like juicy. That sounds
I
terrible.
don't think it was juicy.
It's not juicy. So I woke up and I'm just getting ready like a normal
He was getting ready to go to work.
go to work. Yeah, I was getting ready to go to work, and it was the normal morning. But right before I left, Jaleesa was like, I think something's happening or something.
Yeah, so my stomach was starting to hurt.
Yeah. So
And
I
then he was like, what does it feel like? And I said, it feels like period cramp. Then I went to the bathroom and I was bleeding, like spotting. And so he was like, well, do you want me to stay? And I was like, no, I think it's okay. No, you know what? I didn't go to the bathroom until after he left. Because I didn't get out of the bed until after he left. And then he was like, do you need me to come back? And I was like, no, it's okay. And I was like, I'm just going to go ahead and call the doctor. So I did. Because I was feeling like the crampy, like period crampy stuff. And I was spotting, so I was just like, this is it. I'm about to go into labor. This is cool. She's going to come on her due date. Like, this is exciting. But I called the doctor and they told me that it sounded like I was in early stages of labor and I could be there for weeks. Like, for an entire week, days to week. And I was just like, okay. And so they just told me to keep track of like contractions and things of that nature. Things of that nature. And so I did. He asked if he needed to come home, and I said no, but my mom ended up coming, like, just to kind of sit with me for a little bit.
Yeah.
But
And
yeah.
I was just at work, like anxious, like, just tell me to come home.
Yeah, but long story short, we went to the hospital that night because I thought that I was like, oh, these are getting stronger.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that Thursday night, we went to the emergency room, and we walked in or whatever, and then yeah, because you got to get in there first by walking.
Damn. We walked in.
We walked in. We didn't roll her in. We walked in, and they sent us to the labor and delivery, the birthing center, basically, and did all the checks and everything. We were sitting in there, just waiting, just to be seen and everything. I think we spoke with the nurse first, and she did her checks, and then after that, the doctor came in and just was talking with us about like what the next steps could be because it was not time.
Yeah, because I hadn't dilated yet, and my cervix was still very thick too, so it just wasn't ready for me. So the doctor talked about like if I were to be induced, like what that process would look like, what type of medicines they would use, like a type of procedure they would potentially use. And so like we had already had an induction date for the 30th, but I was just praying that I didn't have to be induced. But then they sent us on home, so they went on.
So yeah, we were a little disappointed because we wanted her to come on that day. Actually, I wanted her to come on the 24th because I like the number 24.
Yeah, I just wanted to have dilated. I just wanted to have some type of progress at that point.
So,
but we hadn't had any progress. So then the next day, I don't even think
You know what we forgot?
No.
The 22nd.
What happened on the 22nd? Oh, that tea. The tea?
Yes.
I'm never drinking that tea ever again.
So what was it? It was called
The raspberry green tea.
Yo, she took like okay, so we left that night.
Left where?
We left here.
Oh.
We left the apartment and we went to. She's like, where did we leave? We left this place. We left here and we went to Target, and I think we picked up some other stuff, but we bought some of that as well. Friday we decided to walk. So we walked around, you know, the complex, whatever.
We just labored that day.
And just let it labor, yeah.
Yeah, pretty standard. Just kind
So
of
it was a normal day.
Yeah.
It was just.
I was somewhat
constant.
discouraged just because I hadn't dilated yet. So at that point, we weren't even tracking like how far apart like the contractions were or anything. I was just.
When did we start doing that? I think we didn't. We stopped that night. I don't think.
Yeah, we didn't do it on Friday at all.
Yeah. So, I mean, we just kind of chilled at that point because we were like, it's got to get stronger or something. I don't know.
Yeah. So
then Saturday came, and I think it was pretty much the same, but it started to pick up a little bit in intensity, like that afternoon. Yeah. So we were doing like some bath. She was in the bath trying to like relax. And that was working, and I felt like it was, cool. Helpful, you know. But the contractions started to come like back to back more. So at that point,
but it was pretty inconsistent though. So like sometimes it would be that way, like you know, it would come like 1 to 3 minutes, and then the next one would be like 8 minutes. You know, like so it just wasn't like super consistent.
Right.
But we ended up calling a doctor, and so they just told us to go ahead on in because I have been laboring since Thursday. So that was about 6 o'clock on Saturday evening, and so we went into the hospital. And long story short, I still hadn't dilated any, but my cervix was thinning out, so there was some progress that had been made, but I still had no dilation. But they were saying that the baby wasn't moving that well, and so they wanted to see her move. They were saying I was dehydrated, which I was confused, but if they say I was, then I was.
I was giving her water, like a waiter.
Yeah, but it's okay. Anyway, so they gave me an IV, and so we were there from like to about 11.
It was what? Did we get there like 6, 7 or so? And we were there until 11:30 or so.
Yeah. Anyways, so after the IV, I got up, put my clothes back on, and we came on home. But by the time we got home, like I was in a lot of pain by that time.
Yeah, we hit the stairs, and then we got up to the top, and she don't even remember this, but like I guess she had like a contraction or whatever, and she was like hunched, and I was like, you know, we had done a lot of moving from that point from leaving the hospital, so that was a lot. So I'm sure that had a lot to do with like kind of starting that process a little bit stronger. But the funny part is that like we already had our bags packed way before that day.
Yeah, I had to force him to pack the freaking bags.
We already had our bags packed.
It took him forever.
So then there was like things in different bags, and I was like, I just want this to get a little bit more organized.
His own bag. I was trying to put everything in the same bag because I didn't think we needed this like 2 separate bags, but he wanted his own bag, so he brought the bag up and then separated it, put his own stuff in the bag.
I had my bag, her bag, which had Alora's things in it, and I fixed it. And something just said, just go ahead and do it, because I was like, I'll just do it tomorrow. Like it's late, it's like 1 o'clock now. Like I'm gonna chill. And Jaleesa was just laboring on the couch.
Yeah, I was asleep.
And so I just went ahead and did it anyway. So we went to bed, and then she left, and she came out here. I was in the room sleeping, and she shut the door, and she could tell you about what she did from that point forward.
Yeah, so I just couldn't get comfortable in the bed, so I came out here. And I brought a pillow, brought a blanket, and I was just out on the couch. I had shut the door so that I wouldn't bother Sean because he was asleep, and I wasn't able to get comfortable, so I was like, well, I just let him get some rest, whatever it may be. But yeah, it was getting pretty. I don't know what the word I'm trying to use.
Intense.
Yeah, it was pretty intense.
It was getting there.
Like I was.
She was
praying.
getting here.
I was praying. I was singing. I was doing all types of stuff during those contractions.
Melodies.
So I would be like on all fours, and I had like one leg up on the couch, and I would be like on the couch in the fetal position. Like I was just all over the place trying to get comfortable. Long story short, about like 5 o'clock ish, I started feeling a need to like push. Like I just felt like a whole bunch of pressure in my butt, and so I was just like, like this can't be good. And then but I was just like, okay. But I was so tired, I was like falling asleep in between my contractions. And then all of a sudden I felt the need to it was like pressure. I was almost like I could like feel like something like trying to come out. So I feel like I was starting to feel her head a little bit. But nonetheless, so then I was just like, Sean, but he couldn't hear me because the door was shut. And so I mustered up the energy in between contractions. I went in there and I was just like, Sean, something's wrong. And then like this cat jumped out of the bed. And then he's just like, what? And I was just like, what did I say? Does I think
something's wrong? You said
yeah,
something.
but what did I say before that? I mean,
I don't know that.
I don't know. Anyway, long story short, this man didn't even know. He walking around in his pajamas, like he don't know what to do. And I was like, "What are you doing?" He said, "I'm trying to find something to wear. What are you gonna wear?" I was still in my pajamas. I said, "I'm wearing this." So he got dressed. We were grabbing the things. We were on our way out the door, and I was like, I had a contraction, and it was like, it brought me to my knees. I was like shaking like a leaf. I couldn't, like my legs was like, I couldn't even move. Oh, look at it, baby. So he called 911. And the dispatcher folks were basically prepping him to deliver Elora in the apartment.
Yeah, so I'm on the phone talking to her about everything. And so while we're on the phone, her water breaks, and we can both hear. I mean, obviously she can hear it, but I heard it, and that scared the crap out of me.
Like a balloon was like,
and I was like, "What the hell is going on now? Like, what are we doing here?" And so the lady was like, "Yeah, you're gonna want to get towels." I was like, "No, I don't want to get towels."
So they were like, he had put the person on speakerphone.
Speakerphone, yeah.
And they were just like, she needs to be down, take her pants off. She needs to be on her back with her knees up. Like,
Jaleesa's
and I was
getting prepared, and I'm like, "No, wait, let's hold off on this."
Luckily, he heard the fire truck people downstairs.
Yeah, they were downstairs.
Because you know how loud it is when they turn, like when they do their break. So he heard their break, and so I'm in the floor. And this cat opening the door, just, we're up here, waving them on in.
They literally just was like, can we get you downstairs? Because they were going to bring the journey.
Stretcher.
What is that? Gurney. I call it a journey.
I call it a stretcher.
The stretcher. They were going to bring it upstairs, but that's a little bit dangerous. So
yeah, I was like, afraid to be on the freaking stretcher, like going down the freaking steps like this.
So then we I was like, she got herself downstairs.
Yeah.
And we were able to leave or whatever. And it took us about 30 to 40 minutes to get there. And so I'm following the ambulance to the hospital, and then I'm like an idiot. I'm just following them. But they will go to the emergency area where they can get into the building or get into the hospital. I'm like, oh my God, I gotta go around because I gotta go to the emergency room. So then I drove around, got to the emergency room. Walking into the emergency room, and then I had to introduce myself to the front person who has seen us several times. She was moving too slow for me, for lack of a better word, and I was like, you know what, I'm gone. So I was like, she's up there, I'm out. So I went on around. I could see her because they were wheeling her around. I could see her on the stretcher going to the room, and so I walked quickly to the elevator, got upstairs to the room. But by the time I got upstairs, she was just kind of walking to the actual hospital bed. So
when we got into the room, and first of all, I would like to say the EMTs, they were all really nice. So thanks for that. But they were all real nice. They talked to me the entire time. I'm sure they were just trying to get my mind off of me having
I thought the baby was a porn already at this point.
What, on the truck?
Yeah, because I was like,
Oh,
it's
my
no
leg.
way.
But they had my legs freaking tied up. Like,
I don't know.
It was like straight.
They might have to untie them.
There was heaps. What did he
Like
say?
a turkey.
He said, if you feel like you need to push, don't. And I was just like, all right. I won't push. So I didn't. But nonetheless, when we got there, it was like a whirlwind. So like, there was so many people in the room. Everybody just came in and got into place in the hospital room.
I feel like it was 50
quickly
people in there.
changed my clothes. They like made sure that in my pants that it was amniotic fluid that was on there, and they were just like, yep, your water did break. Once I was out like in the hospital gown, like they checked me and they were just like, get the doctor. And I was just like, wait, I can't get an epidural? And they were just like, no, sweetie. It was like, this baby's gonna be out in like 1 to 2 pushes. And I was just like,
what?
All right. So I'm assuming that they must have like felt her head or something. Look at her yawn. That's so cute. They must have felt her head or something. But nonetheless, so I was up on the bed, legs up, doc, and like I was having a contraction, and the doctor says, you can push. And so I started to push. And the next thing I know, I like looked down and the doctor had to like run forward because Laura was on her way out. He said, keep pushing. I kept pushing, and one push, homegirl was out.
One push.
They didn't have time to get an IV in or anything like that. Sean says that by the time like we had entered the hospital to when they had her, like only like 18 minutes had passed.
Not even 18 minutes. It was like 8 minutes.
Oh, sorry, 8 minutes had passed.
Yeah,
sorry.
8 minutes.
She was here in a push with no epidural. So, but yeah, it was good. I am blessed that she's here, that she's healthy, and I'm healthy. We stayed in the hospital for 2 days, just to be on a precaution for her and myself. But other than that, while we were there, everything was fine. Blood pressure was normal. Her temperature and all that good stuff was normal.
Good vitals, good vitals. See?
But yeah. So everything was good. Even though like it was a whirlwind, I am fortunate that it happened the way that it did happen. It was because I didn't want to have an epidural. Like I remember like from like the time that we had found out I was pregnant, I was just like, I think I want to try to have it natural. And then I was just like, but because I had been laboring since Thursday, by like Saturday, I was just like, oh yeah, nah, we gonna get an epidural.
Mm-hmm.
So it was good. I didn't have to get one.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like
I'm
it
glad. Yeah, because she was up on her feet, like literally had the baby, and then she was on her feet like 2 minutes.
Yeah. So she was
I'm
out,
like,
and
sit
I was
down.
just like, woohoo! Like I felt good.
Yeah, like she felt like she was pre-labor, pre-pregnancy.
No,
or so.
top of the world, top of the
So
world.
she was moving and grooving. So
Yeah, but yeah, so it was good. But I mean, I don't know. That's pretty much our story.
that's the story.
Yeah, I don't know if it was juicy or not, but it is our story. But Sean probably thinks it was juicy. I think he was more like on edge than I was, but it's probably because I was in it. I don't know.
She's 8 weeks away from it happening, so it's not.
That's
She doesn't.
probably-
She
I don't
feels.
remember.
It feels like oh, it's okay now. Like yeah, but in that moment.
Shit, I probably felt okay after she was out. I was like, yeah, we good. I mean, it was cool.
Mm-hmm. But it was good. Like the hospital stay was pretty good. The nurses were amazing.
Yeah, we had some
They
good
took
nurses.
care of us while we were there. Like when I say us, I mean like all of us.
Yeah.
And she's here, and she has been a great baby. So
She's a good baby.
but yeah, that was an interesting. And this is our first child, and so that is a lot. And I almost delivered a baby. Just from I want to put that in there that I almost delivered a baby.
He almost left me on the floor to deliver the baby by myself.
No, she's not telling the truth. She's laughing.
Yeah.
But yeah. So that's pretty much how it went.
She needed a pacifier.
We out. Hello.
That's so cute. Let me see. I know. Oh, I need to stand there. Okay. Good job. No, I know, I sit right up here. Yeah. You see my niece. Say hey, Lori. Oh, Laura. She said I am asleep. Okay, we leave it alone. We leave it alone.
Abby put it back to sleep and have her hiccups. Thanks.
You're welcome.
She's turning her head. Go this way now. There you go.
Kitty girl.
And then the same shampoo you use for her body is totally fine for her hair. It's nothing, you know, for her scalp while you learn her allergies. You don't want anything with shampoo, with perfume. I'm not using a lot of pressure, just a little circular motion.
Okay.
Especially since on her scalp here, she does still have that opening.
Yeah.
She's like, all right, I'll enjoy the bath for this part. And then I'll just use the comb just to comb through, make sure we got everything out right now. Ooh, she's gonna have some curls here. I love it.
We've been tight.
It is thick.
Yeah. I have thick hair too.
Yeah.
We all love our hair play with from the start.